you have to win this battle. Let's go. Come on, Sedona.
All I ever wanted, all I ever needed is here in my arms. Words are very unnecessary, they can only do harm. All I ever wanted, all I ever needed is here in my arms. Words are very unnecessary, they can only do harm.
Namaste and Lak'ech, my family. There's a slight delay. Welcome to the show. I am Rion, your hostess with the mostest, and welcome to our special morning coffee presentation here at the Humankind Center in Sedona, Arizona. We have a big presentation for you guys today. This is awesome. Hi, this is awesome. I don't know if you can feel the vibration here going on with this microphone, but it's happening. So, happy Valentine's Day, planet Earth. I hope you guys are doing great out there across the earth. Here together, we're gonna have a great time. So we have some awesome audience members that are gonna ask us some questions a little later on in the presentation and the downloads of what we're gonna be sharing. The main thing that I think is most relevant, I woke up early this morning with like a monologue of how to explain ascension in a very like cool, calm, and collected way, and why we're seeing so much bifurcation. And I'm even noticing my eyes are picking up on things on certain video feeds where it almost looks washed out. The universe is trying to show us this real bifurcation, or I like what Vivian Chavez stated with a trifurcation. It's not just salt and pepper. There's three routes humanity is going to be taking. The first route, obviously, is where we are now, okay? The middle route is more of this, we're part organic, part non-organic, okay? And the third part, or the third highest route or timeline, is going to be pure organic, assessing and activating your dormant DNA. So the main thing why, I suppose, in consciousness, why there's so many buffers put on our soul's ability to remember is because many of us, if we could remember exactly who you are, how many lives you've lived, okay, that's just the beginning. What happens when you start to remember you were a fusion engineer or scientist 600 years ago or 1,000,000 years ago, and you know how to make a black matter drive? You start remembering things from starships. You start remembering your PIN codes. You start remembering things that this reality is not prepared for you to remember. There's other levels to this game, and why our higher selves work so diligently to make sure that us as spirits, as souls, as eternal beings, learn our life lessons is to really get into that heart. Okay, your heart is the governor to all things. So the more powerful you become in this multidimensional game, remember your heart is your governor. meaning that the more compassion, the more light, the more love you have in your existence, in your core belief system, the more access to these powers or abilities you shall have because you are balanced. Okay, and I know it's a very difficult thing for a lot of people to go through. Paying past life karmas is a real thing. There's also some of us too that really don't have a lot of karma on this planet. If you're one of the, say, a Starfleet officer from a different sector of this galaxy. However, you're wearing the suit of your mother and father with all of their DNA and memory stored in your DNA because you're wearing that suit. So you're a ball of light wearing somebody else's container. Okay? So as we kind of shift out of base reality, the main thing to realize is that you will be tested. You will go through things you sign up for that you will later say, I never signed up for that. I never signed up for the 3 crazy X's in a row. Whatever it is for you. You know what I mean? I never signed, whatever that is. Listen, happy Valentine's Day. I never signed up for the weirdness in my life. They're like, well, someplace you did. So there's a lot of different factual things about being here. But what I can say is this. Some of us are actually getting to breach into this new world. You're going to suddenly start feeling it in your dream time. All of a sudden, for example, instead of having flying dreams, maybe once every 6 months if you're lucky, right? Now you're getting them once a week. Now you're getting them every other day. Now you're in complete control of your dreams. Now you're having upper dimensional conversations with your higher selves while you're flying, looking up in the sky, and they're watching you, and you're having a dialogue while you're flying. Okay? There's different levels to these games. The main thing I want to say is with everyone's different DNA on this planet is that you guys all brought different skill sets and higher selves to second pyramid war on this planet. Why the Sahara Desert is a desert, okay? Let's just make it real simple. There are some things in our fractality that our souls needed to learn to never let that happen again. Let's just say. Same thing with Atlantis and Mu, okay? And the Lemuria. So what are the lessons? That's the core mechanism that our creator, or creator, boy, girl, all things, right? The Great Spirit, the source of all things, wants you to learn, because it's one thing to have a lot of knowledge, okay? And on this planet right now, with AI ripping through the ether, there's a lot of data, right? We have access to so much data right now. With that phone you have in your hand right now is more computing ability than they had to launch the first shuttle into space. The computer was the size of a room, a very large room. You got 10x the computing capacity in your hand right now. So the one thing this planet needs to learn, though, is the experience. So knowledge plus experience equals wisdom. We're here to learn wisdom. And there's a lot of our galactic families that we come from, and we have aspects within us that we're part of a lot of these things throughout time and space. And, human beings experience time in a linear way. You're born here, and you graduate, and you go through your first shit show relationship, make a lot of poor early 20s. We don't remember many of those nights, and then midlife crisis. You know what I mean? And here we are. No, I'm just kidding. So you go through all of these life lessons, and just stay there for a second. Midlife crisis. No. You go through all these choices in your life, and you realize that, why did I go through that? And I feel a lot of us are learning to let go of things and to be able to process and become greater negotiators inside of your soul. Once a soul, it cannot be, is like unbuyable, unpurchasable, integrity at 100,000%. You become an immovable object in the universe for the source, for the light. You realize all these lesson plans and everything that you've gone through is to not only assist yourself, but to really, truly to assist and shine your light for others. So there's different levels to this game. Some people are here for a 3D incarnation. Personally, when I hear that, I don't believe it, unless you're a SimCity character, or unless you're like, you're a baby soul that they just made. I think everyone here is here for a life plan, a soul plan, especially in this incarnation on Earth. This is Earth, as you well know, is the school of hard knocks. This is emotional 101. This is a very extreme level of polarization on this planet. So to master or to balance that inside of yourself, you have no idea how far that's going to carry forth into the future. For example, every single person on this planet right now, if they took us from here and we sat on a starship and they zoomed in on 15 other planets in a different galaxy, let's just say, and they're at this stage of development that we are right now, every single person could say, oh, let me guess, they're putting weird shit in the food, the water, the air. They're trying to jab the population. They're trying to create separation through race, sex, spirituality, different dogmas. We've gone through the entire gambit of polarization. And every single person sitting in that audience could raise their hand and go, yeah, I've seen that before, where I just came from. Let's not do that. Oh, I've seen, and just in this recent 3-generation swing, we've seen the whole game. We experienced the complete game of illusion, and now we are currently watching it dissolve. Right now, in real time. You know, if you guys don't believe me, go on Elon Musk's Doge account right now. Okay? The whole thing is melting in front of us. So for some of us Starseeds and Angelics, and some of us that came here with great purpose, to remember that it wasn't our job to per se focus on it falling apart. We knew this. That was part of our soul agreement, that we would be here when this whole old world fell apart. Our job was to create the new. Our job was to be the forebearers of the golden age, of the great change. And I believe during the harmonic convergence, a lot of people got that first, pop, especially out here in Sedona. I forget when that was, late 80s. And then a lot of the infrastructure in this town, even in Sedona, was built right after the Great Convergence. People came here and started buying houses. Now in the second wave of this Great Convergence, but really, truly, the beginning of the Golden Age, everyone's going to have to take a deeper look at themselves and what they're going to be responsible for. I'm just going to do this for me and my kids is awesome if you're at that level of consciousness. Okay? Doing things with the proper resources which are about to be released, let's just say, hopefully very soon. Even as I say this, I feel it's going to be like some sort of historical thing. He made the video before. It's something that's going to come with a responsibility, but listen, there's something I can say that I've learned recently in how to deal with this stuff, okay? And you have to take a deep breath. Take a deep breath, everybody. God, can somebody slouch in? I look like, hey, listen, this is what I really look like. I caught myself on camera here, right? Listen, I got an itch in my nose. All right. Letting the universe flow through you is something that I think if you want to experience what that feels like, I don't know, go surfing, go swim in the ocean, when it's a nice day. Paddle out a little bit into the surf line, hold your breath, grab the sand and just, hold your breath and then, within reason, but close your eyes and feel the ocean and the waves go through your body as you're sitting on the bottom with your eyes closed in the surf line. You can do the same thing in a river or a stream or a lake. The main thing is to feel the vibration or the sensation of something larger than you passing through you. And to remember that you are a part of something far greater than your own experience. And it really does help me because sometimes when I'm channeling information, it's almost like in the beginning you get imagine I'm sitting here in my crown, right? In the beginning, you get one channel. Okay, I'm your 5D, or in a lot of people's cases, they're 4D. Usually during puberty, your 4D shows up, where it goes, hey, let's skip school and smoke some pot in the parking lot. That's your 4D. It's not your inner child. And then in your early 20s, let's go to Vegas at 10 p.m. on New Year's just to be there for countdown. That is not your inner child. It's 4D. right side, lowest night side, okay? But as you guys kind of get more into channeling, you'll realize that your intuition, your right side, your 4D night side, lowest night form, and then obviously on your left side, your heart side, your lowest light form, your 5D, right? So as you get more and more aware of the other dimensions of your higher selves, what happens is it's like you have multiple streams going up or multiple channels of aspects you can channel or ask questions to as your throat chakra becomes online. The reason why I use the emissions, even in public, normally I'm always wearing headphones, is because I talk to my higher selves through my throat chakra. I do not hear my higher selves through my ears. So I can listen to 80s music on full tilt and still hear every single syllable coming out of my higher self's mouth. You listen with your throat chakra. So letting the universe flow through you takes away all of your anxiety. A lot of people say give it to God. Absolutely. Whatever definition you look at. Give it to God. I'm stressed out. Give it to God. But, you gotta meet me halfway. I feel like, I'm talking to Yeshua, and he's just like, meet me halfway, da-na-na-na, for you. It turns into a Black Peace song or whatever it is. You gotta meet your higher selves, you gotta meet, our God or your source or your oversoul halfway. You gotta show effort. And when you do, and when you actually have that heart on, you can't be shook off of your purpose. And the thing about it, it's kind of scary sometimes for people to really jump into that purpose and actually remember who you are. Thinking about every single person you grew up with since you were in kindergarten, could be even your parents, your grandparents, your aunts, your uncles, your cousins. I mean, imagine being the only one awake in a family of 30 and you're staring at everyone. Okay, now your gifts come on. I'm staring at every single person's aura eating Thanksgiving dinner. Okay? Now it's even a little more, like I'm starting to be telepathic. I'm like having fun sending images into people's heads and having them like, what was that? It's like you start realizing they're in a Sim City game. And then listen, this is what happened to me. When I really started like having fun, that's when my higher self is like, hey, wrap it up, guy. You gotta move to Sedona. They're like, no more. I was doing all kinds of fun shit. I was like, this is awesome. I can do this all day long. They're like, no, wrap it. My higher selves are like, get out of here. You got to go train up in the mountains. You're not doing this in Southern California. You can have a lot of fun. A lot of fun, okay? So I was like, shit. So, I think with some of us, we really did come here with purpose. I did not come here for a normal 3D to 5D incarnation. I believe many of us have done this experience on other planets. I think that many of us that are here, that chose to be here, especially the beautiful ladies on Valentine's Day sitting in the audience, and all of you guys out there at home, there's something in you that doesn't let you go full dum-dum. Full dum-dum? You've seen it at Walmart. Go to Walmart and look at like, hey! Like, you think you're dum-dum? Like, go to the Midwest and walk into a Walmart. You're not dum-dum. There's something in there that's like, yeah, I feel kind of special sauce, but I don't know what that is. That's like a different species. Like, what is that? Is that Mark 1.0? No disrespect. I'm just trying to say we can see the energy field and intelligence of other people. You can feel it. And the thing is that I feel a lot of people all have the same potential to wake up. We're just at different stages in that. I remember when I was fully unconscious. I remember when I was fully just, early 20s, partying like a rock star, didn't really care about tomorrow type stuff. You realize that later in life, I learned certain lessons that allowed me to become the person I am today. Taking risks, let's just say. What else did you learn in your early 20s? Taking risks, resisting the man, you know what I mean? No, really was like, for me personally, I lost my fear of death in my early 20s. I played Russian roulette with my life, which is, certain back now. Look at the kids now with the, what's it called? It takes you out in you get high one time you're dead? Fentanyl. Well, these kids are playing roulette with their lives right now. And a lot of people with these certain things, they're not waking up. They try it one time and they're exiting. So I'm trying to say, some of us, you really do have to lose the fear of not only being here. A lot of kids in their 19s and 20s are like, you don't want to be here, especially in high school, especially if you're alone on Valentine's Day. Listen, I've been there. Had many lonely Valentine's days. There's something in there that makes you want to feel like you're alone. The truth is you're not. And the truth is, if you actually knew how many higher selves were actually rooting for you, or how many things you have going for you, you realize that this place kind of created a trap around your mind. And in that way, it controls your energy, it controls your soul, and it controls the way that it can loosh or pull energy off of you. Hence the vocabulary term loosh, which is a real thing. There's a lot of more information about that, how the Phantom Matrix and how the Netherworld have huge world engine type things that pull energy, especially from huge war zones, and how they feed that negative energy. Because the anti-source program can't create energy or light; it can only steal it. So, for us waking up out of this reality into a new one, to remember that our job is to assist as many people as possible. There's nothing better than going to a high school reunion and just sitting there and just like casually activating everyone's DNA and not saying a word. It's the funniest thing you can possibly do. There's all kinds of fun things you can do. Okay? Oh my gosh, he stopped drinking. He's been drinking for 25 years. Like, he doesn't see as like you with one of your energy arms, like grabbing the family gremlin off of him and like putting it in a black bag. All of a sudden the guy wakes up the next day. I don't feel like I want to drink. It's the craziest thing. Praise the Lord. Well, some of you guys are working for the Lord, my brother Jesus. I think there's a lot of angelics down here working the grid. And like I said, whatever vocabulary term works for you, Buddha is awesome. Krishna is awesome. Yeshua is awesome. Our source is awesome. These are all fractals of the one. So as you kind of go into the higher levels of who you are and how old our civilization is, there have been many different versions that have stepped forth with pretty much the same message, which is everybody love everybody, treat every being with respect, and really unconditional love. This is one of the highest levels of intelligence is unconditional love. That means every time I see somebody going through something, I can resonate with exactly where they're coming from, because I've also been there. And then you kind of can gauge, what do they need or how can you assist them, mind you, without doing it for them. That's the one thing that we get arguments with our higher selves all the time is, hey man, I see you up there in heaven popping berries in your mouth. I'm down here eating top ramen. You know what I mean? And it's freezing outside. I got to go to work. You know what I mean? Whatever that may be for you. But to realize that even your higher selves at some point earned their position. And to also let you know, some of us are undercover boss. So what do I mean by that? Some of us are like, imagine in your oversoul, some of us came down here to be undercover boss, meaning that you could be your oversoul. Like, imagine you're a 10, let's just say a 90 and above being, 11D. Some of us higher than that. Imagine you're the one that actually came down into the base reality to stare at every single thing in the basement, where we are right now. And as you look up, you're staring at everyone's higher self, and if they're actually participating in this game, or if they're taking advantage of it. So there's different levels to this game, specifically with the participants. I like to think that the planet right now is going through great shifts very rapidly. And I think that even in our government and everything that's going on, and the global financial stuff, that everything is happening almost like every single day is what would have taken 6 weeks or 6 months or 6 years. It's happening like every 6 hours. So the time is definitely accelerated with cleaning up some of this stuff. And moving forward, we just need the resources to be released on this planet, per se, to assist with different humanitarian projects, and then a lot of people can step into their purpose and really begin to help the whole planet shift into a higher vibration. That being said, questions from the audience. You guys have any questions? You can call it out, and I can just repeat it if you want. I don't want to do like a sermon in here. This is musical. Hi. Okay. A good day. I will now channel the galactics from deep into the sector. No, we're not gonna do that. Put some. Just casually. You know what I mean? Go ahead.
A lot of the younger.
Oh, South Africa's in the house. Okay. Hey, John. I guess that email marketing campaign worked globally. Huh? We have South Africa in the house. All right, hit me with it. Yes. Hello.
A lot of the younger generations are still in fear reality. What do you suggest they do to just,
To get through this? I think a lot of the skill sets and a lot of the time, in the internal time that in our generation we never really got, like we never were locked up for 4 years in high school, where we had to like internalize. I think a lot of them have there's a great opportunity if the kids can see what took place. First, they have to see it. Like if you're really going to heal for something, like for example, when you have an addiction, the first thing you have to say is like, yo, I'm addicted. I got a problem. You know what I mean? It could be too much phone time, TV, internet, or just maybe video games or whatever it could be, right? The first thing is say, hey, little less of that. The second thing is to remind them that the true avatar that they are here to master, they're wearing around every day. It's not a digital characterization of them online. It's not manufacturing a greater battle armor suit on World of Warcraft. That's not going to get you, I don't know. A lot of kids these days are beating online. I don't know. You know what I mean? I met the warlock female. We're now dating. I don't know.
Well, they're not probably virtual reality, not
right. The thing is that I think your soul doesn't like. Here's the funniest thing. Like this is just the truth. Angels don't care how much money you have, no, or success, or they care about your heart and did you learn your lessons and did you treat your brothers and sisters with respect and are you stronger and more evolved and wiser than you were when you went back down there? And the answer should be yes. If it is, I'm a billionaire and I have a SimCity game that I sold to $500 million, you're reincarnated, dude. You're not gravity. I can't be more real. I wish there was a way that I could express that. Like, I wish people would really get it. You're here to master the avatar you were born in. Now, if you want to use AI or, technology to enhance the experience while still getting your lesson plan done, while still mastering your body, while still taking your flesh, mind, body, and spirit to the level you want it to be at, so be it. But it's not to let your body atrophy in a bedroom and your eyes are toast by the time you're 35 years old because you've been staring at a screen for the last 20 years of your life. No, that's not what our God created us to do. So, I mean, is that a casual? You know what I mean? There has to be. Here's the thing, too. Man, during COVID, I'm going to be honest with you. During COVID, I felt like we were on like a pro team for Overwatch. I was the tank. It was serious. 5 o'clock. Video games are on. But then I also realized what my health, like your body starts, we were locked inside during COVID. So that was our excuse to just eat pizza and play video games. It was kind of awesome. For like the first 3 weeks, I was like, this is kind of awesome. Let's be honest. Everyone had that moment. Like the first 3 weeks, like, let's be honest. Like during COVID, like the first 3 weeks, I was like, wait a minute. It's okay for me to just lay here. I kind of leaned into it. I was like, let's make another round of cookies. Let's just see how far we can take this thing, Okay, about 6 months of that, it turned into like, hey man, you got to get outside. You look like Polar Bear Express. You put on 25 pounds. This is not the look you're going for, My sister, who, it's funny enough, my sister was like she wanted me to get my advanced diving card. So I flew to Florida from Sedona. And, as soon as I started putting on my wetsuit, and I was putting on my rash guard, she goes, who are you? I went from like tan and like put together to like, hey man, I'm here to go dive. I looked like I was an Ohio corn farmer. And she took some photos of me. And I got to be honest with you. They were so bad. Like, you're like, oh, this is like my memory with my sister and my dad's diving. I deleted everything. I was like, I don't know who that person was. I felt like I was trapped underneath like 3 inches of like, oh, I'm just here to explore. Like, I don't know. So what I'm trying to get to is, it's fun to have a little of that, right? But the truth is, the natural endorphins, when you guys work out, when you want to run, when you guys ski, you guys go surfing, whatever it is for you, those natural endorphins are what our bodies were designed for us to really embrace. And that vibrance or health is actually what keeps you happy. Okay? There's a lot of people out there in this world that may have a lot of things. There's 25-year-old kids right now that have maybe $20 million in meme coins. Still living in an apartment, renting down the street from the parents' house. I mean, it's not like you're this great person because you're successful. All the small things that you want to do to increase, I guess, the reach of your love, the reach of your light, the reach of your friends and family. I see the future is really some of us actually creating more breakaway society within the civilian world. Like a lot of people know this, the great brain drain of the 1950s. They talk about it. Some of the greatest minds on this planet were taken in the 1950s. They were lied to and said, "Oh, there's a great catastrophe coming to Earth. You and your family are going to be safe. Come with us." And like literally got taken off the world. Like some of the greatest minds from the 50s and 60s. It was called the brain drain. And then even the breakaway society with, the Germans in Antarctica and how they had flying saucers. And in the Byrd document, Admiral Byrd, in his journal, which is one of the most legit people in the military at that time, he was world famous. He really has stuff in his journal like the UFOs came out of the water and cut the boats in half with lasers. Like a projected beam cut the boat in half. We lost 40,000 troops. No one talks about it. Look it up, Admiral Byrd. So what I'm trying to get to is, right now, I feel it's almost our civilian breakaway civilization is about to start. You know what I mean? Where it's like, you don't want to live in big cities? What did you guys do? We bought property out in some really sacred land, and we just 3D printed everyone's house. They don't have anything to worry about. We're into growing things and still being high tech, advanced R&D department, advanced things, but we're kind of leaving the matrix. We're leaving the old into something new. So I think that was more what the future is going to be, and especially once we get certain zero-point technology released, where you have, Enron, I don't know if it's real or not, but they have like an egg that can power 4 houses. And there's a couple guys I've seen recently that have, they pull their little microwave-sized power cell pulls energy from the vacuum. And they're selling it right now. They have a company in Phoenix right now that has a magnetic drive. I don't know, it's like 30 kilowatts, whatever, but it's a magnetic motor. And they had to actually work with the government that you have to, every 10 years, replace the bearings because it was a 0.3 energy device. They had to go, hey, you can't just let it run forever. You have to have some sort of a maintenance to come in there and, okay, we have to change the bearings out. What I'm trying to say is that, how about hydrogen? It's not going to take a genius for someone to take a polar, all you have to do is take a polar natural gas generator, which they use in the Arctic. It's one of the most fuel-efficient ones. You take a polar tech generator. They're huge and they're yellow. I remember when we were getting into this stuff back in Bitcoin mining back in 2017. But can you imagine using that with hydrogen? That thing outputs so much electricity, you could power like 8 houses off of one of those generators. And if we could actually use hydrogen to power that instead of natural gas, it's a wrap, dude. We're so close to this being a wrap, people don't realize it. We're so close to actually being, you guys can go build and buy any piece of property from BLM you want. That's the thing about the Bureau of Land Management. By the way, not BLM, but Bureau of Land Management. The Bureau. The end of this property tax thing they're all talking about, that's the beginning of it. Then that's part of it. The end of property tax, that we actually buy homes and pay for them in full and have to pay the government tax to live on the land that we already bought. That should be coming to an end as well. So, to answer your question for the whole planet, from here to South Africa, whichever country gets it. I love Ubuntu. That's my boy. What's his name? The Ubuntu guy from South Africa.
I don't know. I'm picking songs.
No. So there's this dude. It's Ubuntu. He's basically, it's like you trade. Everything you want, you trade. Like you want something, I make this, you do this, we trade. Yeah, Ubuntu. And what's his name? The gentleman that wrote that book.
No, I don't know.
No, his name? He's cool. He's like another great Britain type guy. He's like, let me tell you how we do it. I love him. We'll put up his picture later. But I feel that America is, in the United States, is the one that really has to drive this forward, because I think for a long time we were actually the ones slowing it down. You know, who knows where we would have been if some of these different, like, look what they're finding with U.S. aid and how we're paying all these things to all these different countries that do weird stuff instead of using that money to take care of the American citizens or help the planet in the way it should have been helped. Okay. Next question. Does that answer your question?
Yeah.
Okay, good. And for the kids, dude, gym. Like, it's almost like gym. You gotta go to the gym. You gotta steam. You gotta do all this stuff because there's a lot of weird stuff in our food, our air, and our water. Maybe back in the 70s, you could have pulled it off. You could have just been like, hey, this is me. My name's Jim. I smoke some reefer down by the river, and I just live off the land. The problem is that here, like, they poison the land. Like, you gotta really get off grid. So you're living in a big city trying to be Jim. Just remember that the world has changed since that demographic. It actually worked, like the hippie generation. It was working. I think one of the main reasons why the Vietnam War happened and how they drafted all the 18-year-olds, they say that generation was guileless kids. Those aren't Starfleet officers. Those are supposed to be the children or the incarnations from the inner Earth. Like, that was their experience. All the inner Earth beings and all that stuff, they had their 3D experience, and those are supposed to be guileless kids. Those are the 60s kids. That the love generation, not everything, we got it, baby. And they probably saw how fast people were evolving and advancing, and the thought forms that were coming through, and then boom, Vietnam War. Let's just draft them all. Go ahead.
Hi, I'm enjoying your spirit and your energy.
Why, hello. Hello, young grasshopper. Listen, I think I'm a young grasshopper.
Here we are on Valentine's Day. Anyway, so
Yes.
I have a question just following on from Africa's
Yes.
question about children, because really is a question is that what I've noticed is that they are gone, like extremely addicted to games and computers. And I was there at the airport and several years ago, and there was a 3-year-old that had the computer, and then when it was time to catch the plane, get on board, the child had an absolute tantrum I've never even seen in my life, like convulsing almost. And I've seen this again and again.
Right.
I'm just wondering, through your time of observing this and knowing this, I love what you said about instead of them giving their power over the avatar. Oh, that's my favorite avatar, and Ninjago and all the those. I don't know what they're called, but and I know that one particularly. That maybe getting them to see the light of the possibility that they will be the avatars instead. Mm-hmm. So, just wondering if you have any tools or anything you can say. Like, are there any particular crystals, perhaps, or is it just discipline? No, you cannot watch that, or shifting their perspective and heads towards, hey, you are that ninja. Let's get you going along down the road.
Right. The sun for me was paramount when I first woke up, because you have to pull in enough energy from the sun to actually manually override some of the seals that are sealing the human being, but also your different gifts, your chakras. Charging from the sun in the morning was paramount for me. And human beings, especially too, when they actually get really good at charging from the sun, they actually start eating less food. I know when I charge out in the sun, especially in the spring and summer, I only need one meal a day. It's like, you have your coffee, your tea, whatever, but you're out there in the sun all day and you're pulling that raw current, that raw energy from the sun. Sometimes you're like, I'm not even hungry. So what I'm trying to say is people need to realize that if you lock yourself inside and hide from the sun, you know what I mean? You're watching on a screen. There's other things biologically that your body, we were not created that way. A human body, especially right now, a human being, we are meant to be outside. We are meant to at least be out in nature or outside back in the day, it was like 8 hours a day, ladies and gentlemen. It was like, you're outside. We were raised as kids. The 80s kids, and, before that, There was no video game. Get your ass outside and go ride a bicycle. You know what I mean? Like, get your ass outside and go skateboard. Get your ass. I mean, you come home like exhausted. You know, almost like I was like a wild animal out in a pen. I felt like I was like a horse, just like a young colt. Just run all the energy out of this guy till it's dinner time, you know? And our parents, for all the early ADD years, you know, the real multidimensional ones, shit, I was in 3 sports a year, you know, so how do you control them? You're like, you gotta run it out. That was my dad's answer, was like, you gotta let him run until he passes out. So we got soccer, baseball, football, basketball. You just keep putting them in sports until the kid goes, okay, this is awesome. Now here's something too that people and adults need to realize too with kids in sports. When we get older, here's the truth. We don't really play a lot of sports. I mean, like high school for some of us is like the end. When you're a kid, it's like everything. Yeah, maybe you see those like weekend warriors, you know. Like, I'm on the Y playing volleyball with the, you know, like, I'm out there in the week. Listen, we get injured. We got bills. I'm not trying to roll an ankle at my age right now, but I'm not. I'm not trying to like, oh wow, I could have shot that goal, but no, I'm not doing it. Okay, especially. You know, when you're younger, you know, you fall, you get up. You're like, oh, yeah, you dust it off. I mean, I went off on a jump on a snowboard at this weight and hit. I felt like I was a brick. I was like, I bounced like, things were crunching. I was like, I don't remember that last time I launched off the snowboard. You know, there was crunching sounds. I was not used to that. You just kind of bounce and get up, bro. So, that being said, I don't know, let's go with full-blown comedy. What was the question? Where were we going?
You're answering it.
Okay.
I think your son's a really great tool.
Oh, okay. So
getting them out into the sun now is an issue.
Yeah.
And of course, we have the chemtrails now. We've got to be aware of as well.
So here's the thing with the kids, though. If you guys have young kids, the reason why you put them in sports is you have to remember that child is going to learn dexterity, their organs, their vitals, their lungs, their strength, their joints, as they go through their growth spurts. They're playing 3 sports a year, or 2 sports a year. And if you talk about that later in life, I can tell you honestly, when I go to the gym, I could be like after COVID, let's just say, it was 6 months, right? No gym. I have muscle memory. You ever have those people you go work out with, and some guys just walk in the gym and they start benching again, all of a sudden they put on 15 pounds of muscle, and they're like, yeah, I don't know, I just got chicken and broccoli, bro. Chicken and broccoli. You know? Just a lot of chicken and broccoli, bro. Okay, so, but then there's some people, they're like, why can't I get a chest? You know, there's guys like this. My chest won't grow. Well, did you play sports in high school? Did you play sports in 8th grade? Did you have a fitness coach? Every high school player in high school, we have like fitness coaches teaching us how to lift weights. What it is though is muscle memory. When I was a child, I was in sports. Now as an adult, when I'm older, when I go to the gym, my body has that memory. So I'm trying to say for all the parents out there, listen, put your kids in sports. They learn teamwork. They learn about, and especially, you know what I'd say too, a lot of people that are homeschooling, and you're not giving your kid that real high school experience that we all went through. The different cliques. Oh, those are the goths. Those are the jocks. Those are the nerds. Those are the thespians. They hang out behind the cafeteria. You don't just talk thespian things. Thespian as an actress. Thespian. You don't give them that experience. So at least if they play like sports, they can at least have that camaraderie with other people. You're not just locking them in a room going, you know, do your homework, John, and whatever it is. At least they get out there. I just say that for everyone out there. It's really important for us to use our vessels and experience it. Because here's the thing. If you never get the pump of shooting the goal, of winning the game, or whatever that is, if you don't have those memories, it's so much easier to give you those memories digitally, artificially, in a computer game. You have no reference. You're like, oh, I'm the #1 top scorer in Overwatch, and that becomes your whole life, you know? So I'm just trying to say, it's good to have a balance. That's all I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen. It's good to have a balance. That makes sense. Listen, I told you I have weird effects on electricity. No one believes me. Now in a public environment, it's happening. What's up, bro?
What's up, bro?
Dude, I'm glad you came, Rockstar.
For sure.
Dude,
Nice
what's
to
up?
see you.
I know, this is good.
Too long.
It's been too long.
Keep inviting.
Hey, I'm just sitting here, effervescence over here.
Of course,
Thank you for coming. I appreciate
I
it.
came from the gym.
Shut up,
My
Tony.
name's Tim.
My name's Tim, and I came from the gym. Okay, Lisa, I know you have a question. Give me something. For everyone on Earth, Valentine's Day, some things to pay attention to. We're doing this as a collective. We have South Africa, Australia, U.S. in the house? Okay, America. We're a melting pot of the whole world, America. Okay, hit us with a question. What do you got?
I guess for the people that are shifting into their missions, learning who they are, remembering,
Right?
what should we be focusing on moving forward?
Say it one more time.
So for those of us that are finding
There we go, the
who we
microphone.
are,
You can speak into the mic. It's okay. Don't be scared. I can hear you. So for those, go ahead.
okay, so for those that already
Don't be scared of what he
remembering who
says.
they are,
Okay, yes.
okay, basically, as you're remembering, as you're processing, as you're healing, and you're going through so many different things from so many different directions,
Right.
what should we be focusing on? Like, so should I keep up with some of the news reports? Should I just stay where I used to be and detox from the news? That kind of thing.
The main thing is going
What
to
should I
be,
shift into?
again, it starts in, you know, like when they say, like, how do you get a six-pack? It starts in vacation. No, it's not relevant. No. It starts in your own personal belief system, and where does it really start? It's in how you carry yourself in your it's your daily routine. Whatever that is for you, what I say for everyone out there, it's your base routine. I like to wake up to the sun. I put on my Pandora on chilled cream.
Me too.
Chilled cream, bro. If you don't know, chilled cream's live. Basically, we're allowed to listen to music, but no words. As soon as you hear words in the morning, your brain starts processing the words, and it pulls you out of dream time of what you're doing. I light my incense, make my coffee, make my tea, put on my robe, go outside. Now, process, think about what I saw in my dream time, what's coming, what prophetic dreams. We're all getting prophetic dreams right now. We're all seeing things coming, okay? If you want to film yourself on your own phone privately, record that just to remember your dreams, or if you guys have dream journals, do that. But then the truth is this: let me go through the whole day, and then let me tell you how you win. It's the day of work and the day of rest previously that sets up the next day of winning, productivity, and balance. It doesn't happen that day. Sometimes it may take you 3 days of preparation to have that one perfect, beautiful day. Okay? So the daily consistencies, and what it is really is when you have a perfect day. Then you can say you go to work and do your thing, then you come home, you can go to the gym, eat something, maybe get a smoothie, go to the gym, steam, then come home, have a nice meal, whatever it is, hot shower or steam at the gym, shower, come home, put your nice comfy clothes on, you're sitting there fully relaxed in that space, and go, this is how Lisa likes to feel all the time. You then draw a line in the sand as this is my baseline. This is, I will not drop below what I feel like in my mind, body, and spirit right now. This is my bottom floor. And if everyone on earth took care of themselves in that way, then you could know when other things are being projected upon you, or other waves, or people are trying to do negative stuff, or people are trying to program, hypnotize you, whatever it is, or throw some bad juju at you, let's just say. You know it's not you. Like, no, this is my frequency. I can feel that. That's not me. Who is that? Someone else is trying to reflect off me, or someone else is trying to knock me off my high vibe. But you have to know what your baseline is and memorize it. It might take you 6 weeks to 6 months to even figure out, this is exactly how I like to feel. And this is, what does it feel like? Everyone knows in here, if you've ever gone to the gym, you know, this is when it happens. It's on the days that you don't want to go. I lie to myself all the time. I go, we're just going to go and steam. We're just, I'm like, I can't move. I'm on the couch. I'm like, somebody help me. And I call one of my friends. I'm like, this is what I text them. I'm stuck. Listen, I'm in a huge 12-foot pyramid in my house. And I'm like, after I'm done all my stuff, I sit down on that couch. And I'm like, all right, I got time. Mr. Roboto. Let's go ahead and park the vessel here. I feel like I'm one of those gurus who's just, just half naked laying in the dirt under Mount Kailash, you know what I mean? I'm just like, let's just park the vessel and jump into the mountain, you know what I mean? But I can't do that, and I'm not, covered in a loincloth. So I'm sitting there, and I'm going, yo, bro, you gotta come get me, I'm stuck. And all my homies know they're like, on my way. And I'm literally, as they go on my way, I'll like sit up, because my soul's not in the suit. You have to understand, like, my energy's out doing stuff. So it's almost like I have to call my soul or my energy back into the suit, grab my water bottle, put on my stuff, I walk outside, I get in my homie's car, and we go to the gym. Now, on these days, again, you don't need to have all that at the beginning. I'm just trying to say that I'm walking with you. I didn't want to go to the gym, okay? You walk into the gym, you're like, I'm just going to steam. You get your towel or whatever. And then you put your stuff in your locker, and you're like, well, I guess I could do a little cardio. Yeah, you're like, fine, I'll go do a little cardio. You can do some little cardio. I guess I could do abs. You can do abs. I guess I could do deadlifts and squats and bench press. All of a sudden, you not wanting to go into the gym turns into an hour and a half of the most insane workout you've done in 6 months. And you're leaving the gym going, wow, I feel amazing. Mind you, that could be a dance, that could be Roomba, that could be Zumba, that could be a swim class, that could be lifting weights. What I'm trying to say is that your consciousness was like, nah, bruh. But your body was like, yeah, bruh. Yeah, bruh. You gotta move it. Right? Oh, you gotta lose it. You gotta move it. Move it or lose it, okay? But when I was walking back to the car after the gym, I felt my whole body was just lit. And I was like, that's how I like to feel. That's my, you know what I mean? That's the frequency. You got all the energy, all the blood's flowing, right? So you're using all of your organs like they're supposed to be used. It's pumping all the blood. It's filtering all your blood. You are alive in the avatar. That's how, me personally, that's my baseline. Now, mind you, I don't hit that all the time. It happens rarely. No, it happens more often than not. What I'm trying to say is that's the type of reality. And I think that there are some kids out there that have never felt that. You know what I mean? There's never been someone pushing them. Like, come on, buddy. And then feeling, as you get stronger, the confidence. Maybe a little kid, a younger guy at high school, he does a bench press with 2 10s on each side. And then eventually it's 15s. Then eventually it's 25s. And then here comes Uncle Rion. I'm going to put some wheels on there. And listen, it's going to hurt. But you can do this. And you just come on. And you help him like push it. And then when that little dude racks that, he goes, it's almost like you watch the mind like control break. It's like, I can do that. I'm like, yeah, dude, you can do that. You know what I mean? It's like you break their own fear of what they think they can't do, and they overcome it. And watching people break those patterns is something I really enjoy. People breaking their fear patterns. People breaking the beliefs that they can't do something. I can't ride a horse. I can't ride a wave ski. I'm scared of the water. I'm the type of person, I guess my dad was like this, like, I'm scared of the water. I just like take it to a 10. Oh, you're scared of the water? Well, check this out. We're going surfing right now. So don't worry, you're not going to drown. You have a leash on. I'm going to push you into a wave. You're going to go from I'm scared of the water to I'm surfing. Let's go. What I'm trying to say is that's a type of divine masculine. That's the type of dad. That's the type of grandfather. That's the type of higher self I want in my life. I want someone to push me, that has my back, that protects me and supports me, but knows I can do better and believes in me. And I think a lot of people go to prayer and God just for that. And I think that we are all reflections of God or Creator in the physical. So remember, when you carry that spark of Creator in your chest, you don't know when you actually help someone break a fear pattern or overcome something. You become the light in that person's life. You become that experience. You become the moment when that 15-year-old kid goes, I can bench 135. And I did it by, you know what I mean? You become that moment or that step in a direction. You basically can help someone take a completely different path in their life and steer them around, which may be some negative controlling behaviors, which are, created by those that want to keep us in control and slaved out. The last thing these New World Order jackasses want is a bunch of Spartans walking the earth. I can promise you that. The last thing these jackasses, these dark cabal guys want is not only am I strong, the 400 guys I brought with me, they all are as strong as me, and they're all looking for you. That's what they're worried about. And we know you're underground. We know the entrances of the caves. We know where the cities are. We have a couple of your guys where we get those access codes from. That's what they're concerned with. This population civilian thing's cute, and I get it. But I'm also here to say that some of us are here to actually assist the whole planet shift out of a centuries old, even could be thousands of years old, right? Controlling thing to control a population to not walk in their highest destiny, but rather to serve someone else's interest that is not their own. So that shit needs to end in our generation. That's what I say about that. Yeah! I don't know where we are in time. How are we?
It's 20 past 1.
So we are.
1:20.
You tell me. One more. Any more? Tip, you got a question? Anyone else has a question? Questions?
Yeah, I like the sun, power up, light.
Yeah.
Light frequencies.
Yes.
What are some of the latest, greatest technologies that, other than the sun, to help this next generation, which is so detached from Earth's natural frequencies? How do we get this next generation to, I guess, raise to a baseline of energy, of voltage in their body so that they can access the spiritual higher realms?
Okay, I can do it like this. I can do it in my own experiences, I guess how I kind of learned it, looking back on my life. You know what I mean? Like, experiences that I made in my life that gave me a greater appreciation for nature, and realizing that, you know, Mother Nature is the mother of us all. If you're born on this planet, you have to realize Mother Nature is your mom too.
Yeah.
So, for me, goodness gracious, you have to put yourself in a situation where, or experience something where you have to go beyond what is your normal resting state or your normal cognitive ability. I remember right after I got sober, 26, 27 years old, my dad's like, yo, we're going to go climb, what's the highest mountain in the continental United States? Mount Whitney?
McKinley?
No, it's higher. Is it no, McKinley's in Alaska, continental United States, right? So Mount
Rainier.
was it Rainier's higher than Whitney's 14.5?
What?
Yeah. Anyways, I'm not trying to compare which mountain is better. I'm trying to say that they're all very tall. And let me tell you, over 14,000 feet is pretty high. Okay, so anyways, I was not prepared. I was like, I can do it. Anyways, I went up there. Just, you know, one of those guys with like Snickers bars and pizza. You know, just like, you know, those jackasses that aren't prepared. You know, the Germans always like, we have the Nutrigrain bars. You know, like Hans from Sweden, we have all the things. I had a cheese pizza and Snickers bars and just like, I don't know, some water. So anyways, I'm with my dad and his friends. We're hiking up this mountain. Right? So we start off in the morning, one day. We leave at 4 or 5 in the morning, hit the top, come back down. It's a mother. It's a man with pajamas. It's not a joke. It's the man with pajamas. So I remember, this is before my third eye came on, I'm like 27, 28. And as we're hiking up this mountain, you know, one of the guys in the group, when we were going across these ice cables, because I think we did it like, I don't know if it was like fall or going into winter, there was always snow up there. One of the guys, I watched him kind of go into fear because we were going across these ice cables, and he was like, I got kids, I can't do this, I got kids, I can't do this. I watched the fear come out of him. Like deer in headlights. I was like, shit, well, it's going to be okay. So my dad stayed with him, and me and my other homie, Mike, we kept going to the top. We're all like, hey, Pops, like, I didn't come up here to stop the ice cable. Like, I gotta keep going. So I'll stay with him. Listen, if you're watching this, I still love you. I'm not dropping names, but you may be watching my face right now. That's what happened. So we're going up, and two dudes, we're up there in the mountains, so there's no one else there. We get to, we're 13,000, 14,000. I get 14,000 feet. I'm going, you start to get the, you can't really get the O2 you need, right? So anyways, we get to the sign in, and it was difficult. for me and Andy to get up there. And I remember on the way down, I was like, shit, now I'm going to go down, right? So as we're coming down the mountain, I basically started to slightly hallucinate. I've been hiking for 18 hours now. You know, I'm like 18 hours. It's the nighttime. As we're coming down the mountain, it's now nighttime the next day. I'm been hiking for 24 hours straight. So it's about 2 a.m. So we've been hiking for 22 hours. Okay, it's now 2 a.m. We left at 4 a.m. the day before. And I remember seeing, even before I knew what my third eye was, I saw like glowing blue beings like popping out of like behind a tree, like, hey. And I was like, whoa. And I was talking to this guy. I put my arm behind this guy, like, hey, there's shit out here. You know what I mean? Like, and he can't see anything. He's like, what is it? What is it? A bear? And I'm like, I don't know. I'm seeing like Berlin pop behind trees and look at me and shit. Like, there's things happening, right? So I'm just like, you know, this is before my third eye came on or I knew any of this shit, right? So I'm coming down the mountain. I finally, you know, our headlamps are seen, and I go down, and because there's no cell phone communication whatsoever at that time. I don't know what this was, but no, I was 27. So, and I remember coming down the mountain, and my dad actually was like, I need to go get them. Like, they're not down. They're still coming down because we're going on really slow because, you know, the gentleman I was with, that's as fast as you can go. So the moral of the story is this, for everyone out there doing real things, okay? One of the greatest memories I have is my dad hearing my voice. I was like, Pops, and he's all, son, you know, like yelling from the parking lot, like, you're alive, you know what I mean? Because last time I saw him was like ice crampons, like fucking 12 hours ago, you know what I mean? And I remember just the adrenaline in my body, pushing myself to that level, the awareness that opened up on that hiking trip, like 15 things turned on. It wasn't just one thing. It was like my awareness, the nature, the this, my DNA, I put myself in a situation in nature and gave my body, which it's used to, that's where it wakes up in the past. Well, you know, 200,000 years, where do you wake up? In nature, in the forest, in the ocean. It's not even my bedroom playing video games. You see what I'm saying? So what I'm trying to say is, I slammed myself in that environment, and you'd be surprised how fast your human body will turn on when it's life or death. Shit starts booting up, and that's the thing that I realized. Not for people to do that, Tim. I'm not saying don't do that, Tim. Tim, don't do that. Don't do that.
I will.
No, Tim, don't do that. What I'm trying to say is that as a reflection, why people sometimes never feel it, never feel the force, never feel the energy, you've never put yourself in a situation where you had to. That's the thing I got to reference. You've never pushed yourself to where you had to feel it. Because once you turn it on, or once you feel it, shit, now you felt it before. You can't lie to yourself and say, I don't have extra awareness ability. You can't lie to yourself. I actually can hear that 20 yards away. You haven't turned on your extra sensory abilities because you never were forced to. You've never been in a situation where it was life or death and you had to perform. Not that I recommend, again, that people put themselves in the situation, but I'm trying to tell you, as your question refers to, Tim, that's what I could reference as go on some hiking trails, get out into nature, quiet your mind, go camping with your homies. You don't need to bring a six-pack. You know what I mean? Whatever it is, go out there and really start accessing nature and asking Great Spirit, Source, God, Jesus, whatever it is, hey man, can you help me access or turn on my dormant DNA? Yeah. I know I have gifts in this suit. This suit has abilities I've never used. Can you help me, Spirit, to access these gifts? And I think that may help a lot of people. Going to sacred sites and doing that also is a very big accelerator. There's many sacred sites around the world, many ley lines where they cross, and that's what I recommend. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, I think that has been a fantastic broadcast. Thank you guys so much for coming out. And check out humankind.center. We're going to do these broadcasts probably twice a month. And come out, we'll have a live audience. And this is really cool because I get to answer your guys' questions. I get to hang out with my family. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, until next time, it's been an absolute pleasure. Peace.